Hello YouTube, welcome back to another Wingspan video on the Master Wing channel. I'm excited to bring you some more tabletop gameplay, but this time we are showcasing the birds of the USA. So we have a special pack over here to the side that I will be drawing from exclusively. The Automa is not going to touch that. But I also have a bunch of birds, a bunch of cards from the base game, of which we're going to use these for the Automa to draw from. We're really not going to look much at the display tray because I don't want the Automa to be taking my USA birds. And so it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment as far as gameplay goes. But anytime that we would tuck something, we're going to tuck from the the other expansions. We don't want to tuck from our USA birds. Otherwise, I know you can't see this first end around goal, but we got sets of eggs in, that set of egg goal. I guess I'll just show it to you like that. And we got the Automa. Of course, they have the bonus card, if I can pick it up, the Rare Species Lister. So we are going to play on the Eagle difficulty. Last time we played on Eaglet. Eagle difficulty is what does this say? Birds that are worth 5, 6, or 7 points. The Automa keeps the lowest valued one. So Rare Species Lister is for the Automa. We've got our nectar in each habitat. We're going to have 4 nectar in each habitat since we're playing on that Eagle normal difficulty. And here's our starting hand, folks. From the USA, we've got an Eastern Whippoorwill, which is a bonus card bird, lets you do some things. The Acadian Flycatcher, a brown power in the forest. The Eastern Meadowlark, looks like a grassland bird. And the Yellow-billed Magpie. Wow, a yellow power. It says activate each when activated brown predator power. For each that succeeds, also cash 1 from the supply. And we got a Western Screech Owl. I hope y'all can see that. Wow, I don't know. So the tempting thing with these is keeping everything, since everything's new, but I just can't do that because it just affects the tempo of the game. Normally, honestly, I've got 2 birds here that would go along well with Food Web Expert for 4 points. However, I also have 3 birds here, it looks like, that would go with Enclosure Builder, and I could probably get 7 points versus 7 points on the Food Web. So I think I'm going to ditch this one. I'm going to keep the Enclosure Builder. I'm going to ditch the Meadowlark because we are playing the Automa Horde version. And so anytime we give a resource, if the Automa would gain an egg, you would give them 3 Horde tokens. So that's, the Meadowlark, it says lay 2 eggs on this bird. All other players lay 1 egg on a bird with a ground nest. So I don't want to be giving the Automa some Horde tokens. And so that leaves me with this. And, they're not super expensive to play. This Predator power might go well with the Yellow-billed Magpie. I think we're going to keep these 4, folks. I don't have any draw power. That's really my drawback here. So we might have to draw from the deck soon. We're going to start with the Nectar. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, I think you can. And then what else do we want to start out with? I think we will start out with a worm, because this Acadian Flycatcher may be my ticket to scoring some extra food. All right, we're gonna go first, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think about these games. It's been a while since we played against the Automa. Turn 1, we are playing the Acadian Flycatcher. Draw and discard 1 card from the deck. If it has a worm in its food cost, gain 1 worm from the supply, and cash a worm from the supply on this bird. Bingo. Pretty straightforward there. And a star nest. And we got the Automa. Let's see. We have an egg for them, and they get to score 1 on the end of round goal. Okay, team, slight pause there. The round one, sets of 3 goal, the Automa actually starts with -1. And so I drew round one. They did get an egg, but that action cube actually puts them at 0. So they're not going to get a action cube on that first end around goal. That is fine with me. I knew there would be mess ups with this Automa gameplay here. All right, so we don't have any wetland options. That's a problem. I want to draw cards, but I also don't. Man, I need a nectar to draw 2 cards. So I think I'm going to go ahead and gain some food here, grab a nectar, and what do we want? Maybe a rat for this screech owl. Let's see if we get that here. All right, flycatcher, we need a worm in the food cost. We did not get it. So that's unfortunate. We don't get that worm. And I guess that's it. That's all we got. We're 2 food. Interesting. All right, so the Automa is going to gain some food. Looks like they take a fish out of here and activate all pink powers. We do not have any. Back to us. Pretty straightforward. We could play the Screech Owl. However, man, I really want some draw power, so I think we're going to draw some cards here. Let me see if that's the right move. I could play Screech Owl, lay eggs, and then draw cards. Maybe that's what I do. I think we'll do that. We'll do the Screech Owl first, since it's something to play. Still don't have that draw power. We'll see how strong this predator power is, but with this yellow-billed magpie, maybe I'll activate it at the end of the game. No maybes. We will activate it at the end of the game. All right, so 2 birds in 3 turns. I'm fine with that. Round 1. The rare species lister. They're going to take a bird worth 5, 6, or 7 points. They keep the lowest one, so they're going to take the red-tailed hawk. So that's a 5-point play for them. That's unfortunate. Remember, we got our own personal deck. I think we're going to lay some eggs now that we're at the 2nd slot. And let's go ahead and put it on the star nest. Remember, our 2nd end of round goal is eggs in the ground nest. Roll all dice that are in the bird feeder. Roll all dice that are in the bird feeder. Does that mean just these 2? Or do I do all 5? Okay, not 100% sure on this Screech Owl. I think if it were all the dice, it would say reset the bird feeder. But it says roll all dice that are in the bird feeder. So I'm thinking I only get to do these 2, maybe? If anybody knows, please let me know. All right. And cash 1 worm and or rat on this bird if available, then reset the bird feeder. So we will cash a worm right here, and now we reset. What an interesting power. I'm thinking the odds aren't bad since that worm's included. So who knows? All right, now Automa. Okay, so they're back to -1 on the end of round goal, and they are going to snag a top deck right here. So that's going to be worth 4 points for them because we're on eagle difficulty, which I think is about normal. If you haven't watched my other video, we played the eaglet version, and that was a pretty high scoring game, I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, now we're going to draw some cards here, and I really need some draw power. We got the California Scrub Jay. Interesting. That one may be a play for me, honestly. And we're going to spend an egg and draw. No, still no draw power. Discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, lay 2 eggs on a bird with the same nest type as the discarded bird. Wow, what a unique power. I don't know if I'm going to have a lot of birds to do that with. Let me see here. Okay, well, that's all we can do for this turn anyway, so I'm still stuck with these, which I'm fine with. I just don't have draw power, so that's going to be an issue. All right, round one, they're going to gain some food. Actually, if I go back to this turn, they were supposed to gain a horde token. I just thought about that. So they're going to gain these out of the bird feeder, and they're going to gain a horde token and a horde token from that previous turn as well. And no pink powers to activate, so that's unfortunate. Okay, I think we are just going to... Wow, this cactus wren and a star nest may be good synergy. We'll see here. This California scrub jay is doable. Let's go for the cactus wren. Why not? Let's try it out. So in order to do that, we're going to gain some food, put our action cube there. We're going to gain a nectar and looks like another nectar. Thank you very much. Take a couple of those and the Acadian flycatcher looking for a worm. Still no worm in the food cost. That's unfortunate. There we go. And Automa. Okay, so they're going to take a they're going to take a 5, 6, or 7 pointer. There's nothing there, so they're going to take a top deck. And that is worth, what was it, 4 points? Yeah. Okay, now we are going to play a bird. We got the cactus wren coming in hot. Discard one from your hand. If you do, lay 2 eggs on a bird with the same nest type. And we have some star nests, so that's going to be very easy to do, I think. We just don't have a lot of extra cards. And Automa's turn. They gain an egg. Not too bad. It's a 1-point play. And then the last turn of the round, I think we're going to go ahead and lay some eggs and get ready for round 2. I'm not going to score this sets of 3 goal, so we'll go here, here. And now we discard one from our hand, so I'm going to discard the California scrub jay, even though it's a pink power, and that has a platform nest. So we're going to lay 2 eggs on a bird with the same nest type. So, yeah, thanks for playing. Cactus wren, 2 eggs. And the Western screech owl. We roll all the dice that are in the bird feeder, just taking that brown power very literally. Cash 1 worm and or rat on this bird, if available. So we... Wow, a 2-point brown power. I didn't know if this Western screech owl was going to be okay. And then we reset the bird feeder. And last turn of round 1, it is flying by. We got an egg, and now they are -1. Are they -1 or are they -2? They might be -2. So they're either -1 or -2, so that means I win with 0? But I don't have a set of 3. So since we didn't qualify at all, I'm thinking this is 0 points for both me and the Automa. So I'm letting the Automa go first this time. Here we go. Round 2. They discard the tray. They're going to gain a top deck. And they get an action cube, eggs in the ground nest. It looks like for round 2, eggs in the ground nest, they start off with 3. So we will, that last card they drew puts them at 4. All right, now our turn. I still think, this bird feeder isn't crazy. We still have this enclosure builder thing going on. Let's go ahead. Oh, I forgot to do the tray. Remember, we're not taking from the tray. We don't want base game or expansion birds. I'm going to draw some cards here and hope we get something good. The Brown Thrasher. Discard one card in the tray with a when-activated power. You may copy its power. You may reset or refill the tray before discarding. I have been wanting to play this Brown Thrasher. Definitely a good pull there. And what else do we have? A Brown Creeper. Play an additional bird in your forest. Pay its normal food and egg cost. If it has a when-activated brown power, you may activate it. Wow. Okay. Well, I think those are both pretty good draws. I'm okay with it. Okay, so we got 4 birds here. I guess we'll think about what we want to do later. Here comes the Automa. Oh, it says remove after round 1. That's fine. So what are they doing? Round 2, another action cube and 2 eggs. For the old Automa. There we go. We've got some birds in hand, but we need some food. I'm getting food. And we'll take a nectar. What else do we need? I guess we'll take a worm. And can this Acadian flycatcher please succeed? No, it cannot. If it has a worm in its food cost, would that qualify with the American Crow? Okay, for the Acadian flycatcher, there are some reference cards here. I did not see specifically that mentioned. So since the American Crow did not have technically a worm, I'm just not gonna take a worm. It was a wild food. Man, let me know about the Acadian flycatcher. If the designers out there, maybe they see it. All right, that was not the best turn, but we'll see. Now the Automa round 2, they are going to gain some food. That means they get a horde token. And pink powers activate. Of course, we don't have any pink powers. Round 2. We got plenty of eggs, thanks to the Cactus Wren. And what do we want to play? I think because I want to do this Brown Creeper Thrasher, I think we will go ahead and play the... Oh, wow. The Eastern Whippoorwill, I didn't read this. It says discard 2 food to keep both. So that makes me want to play the yellow-billed magpie first, because I don't have any extra food. We will play that, pay the nectar. There we go. It's still a bird, and that's a 4-point play. Another star nest for our enclosure builder. That's fine with me. And round 2, they are going to do their bonus card, Rare Species Lister, 5, 6, or 7 points. They scored 6 points with the common loon. That's not good for me. And the Marsh Harrier goes in now. Okay, team. I feel like since we still have one more egg, maybe we play the Thrasher in the grassland? Or should I play the Thrasher in the forest? This grassland engine is kind of looking pretty good. I still don't have a lot of extra cards. I tell you what, let's go ahead and gain food for this Brown Thrasher. Here we go. Resetting the bird feeder, and it looks like we got a couple nectars. We take those. And I still am going to keep these cards. Actually, you know what? I'm wondering if I discard this Brown Creeper. It's still kind of early game. We'll just go ahead with this. And And can the Acadian Flycatcher, yay, we got a worm. It was successful. Not a predator power, but we get to gain one from the supply and cash. I think that could be super helpful. Sweet. And we got 3 turns left in the round. Oh man, the Automa's gonna score another 4 points. We reset the display tray. Bee Eater, Emerald Dove. Whoops. Like so, and they take their card. All right, now, let's see. Let's go ahead and play the Brown Thrasher. Like so. That uses our last egg. And we're doing good on the Nectar Battle for sure. Still just no wetlands. Thankfully, we're playing with promos, and we don't need a huge selection of cards. We like a lot of the cards that we have. All right, and Automa. Looks like they're gaining some food here. They take this out of the tray. Horde token and pink powers activate. Of course, we don't have any. Back to us. And when in doubt, lay some eggs, people, because I can't play a bird without some eggs. And the goal, the end of round goal is ground nest. So we are going to go here. Then we're going to do this. The Brown Thrasher. Discard 1 card in the tray. And I can copy this power. So I think we're going to copy the common green magpie and gain a worm from the bird feeder. I think that'll be nice. Dude, this Brown Thrasher is going to be so flexible. You could hypothetically gain food, draw cards, and whatever with this Brown Thrasher. So we're going to gain a worm right here. We're going to discard the Brown Creeper. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a brown power that's going to work with this at this point in time. So I'm going to discard the Brown Creeper. That lets me lay 2 eggs on the same bird nest. So we'll go right here. And then we do the Western Screech Owl. We only have 1. Oh, I just got a rat. We take those. And with the Western Screech Owl, we have to reset the bird feeder. Okay, so a decent grassland turn. I got quite a few eggs there. 1, 2. Wait, where did this egg come from? I'm trying to think. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I didn't spin the egg for the Brown Thrasher, so I'm just going to say I have 4. Someone can correct me. We knew there'd be some hiccups in this gameplay. But anyway, last turn for the Automa. And, oh man, they got a action cube on eggs in the ground nest. And they also, I have to replace this. They're going to take a 5, 6, or 7 point bird. They're going to take the Redback Shrike and score 5 points. All right, this normal difficulty, I feel like it's creeping up on me. And last turn for me, we have the eggs. We're going to lose the end of round goal, I think. Let's see, they've got 6 on the ground nest. I tell you what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could tie this end of round goal. Actually, we could win this end of round goal. And I think that's worth it against the Automa. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to lay some eggs here, and the Star Nest are going to come in clutch. So we're gonna lay one right there to put us at 5. We're gonna lay one right here to do 6. And then we're gonna discard a worm for 7 in the ground nest. And I think that should secure the end of round goal. And we will discard, oh wait. Let's see. We will discard the green bee eater. It says if there is at least one bird in the tray that has a worm in its food cost, tuck one of them behind this bird. So we're gonna go ahead and tuck the carrion crow behind the brown thrasher. Cactus wren is not gonna get activated. I don't wanna give up the whippoorwill. And then the western screech owl, we get to roll 5 dice. And it looks like we will cash 1 rat. And then reset the bird feeder. There we go. And that concludes round 2. Let's see what the Automa does for nectar. So take some food while the nectar is available. Can't pass up 2 nectar, so we're gonna go with that. Gonna still keep this whippoorwill, Acadian flycatcher, worm in the food cost. We take those. So we get a worm and we cash a worm. Sweet. And Automa, round 3. They get to lay 3 eggs. Like so. And they have to remove an action cube. Oh man, I forgot. Round 3, brown power, they start out with 4 action cubes. So we'll go ahead and put those 4 on top of there. But we just drew a card that said remove 1. So they are at 3. It's fine with me. And now we have, 7 eggs. All we have is this whippoorwill. I think we are gonna, oh, you know what? We've got 2 extra food. I think I'm gonna go ahead and play the whippoorwill while I have some extra food here. And we're going to spend our 2 worms. We're gonna save our nectar. We're going to spend a egg and draw 2 new bonus cards. 1, 2. Keep 1 or discard 2 food to keep both. So we have Visionary Leader and Prairie Manager. I don't really like Visionary Leader. I was thinking about discarding this nectar to keep both, but this is not the card you want in a game like this. So we're just gonna take Prairie Manager. We got the Cactus Wren. Maybe we have something else that pops up. That whippoorwill with the star nest, of course, does let us have 4 points on Enclosure Builder. All right, so not the best bonus card draw, but it is what it is. I think there's around 50 bonus cards in the entire game of Wingspan. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somewhere around there. All right, round 3, another couple eggs and an action cube. So they're scoring a couple points here. I'll take that. And back to us. We literally have no cards in hand. So here we go. Let's draw some cards. All right. We finally got a wetland bird, a boat-tailed grackle. When another player caches a food for any reason, cache 1 food from your supply on this bird, then gain 1 food from the bird feeder at the end of their turn. Okay, so that may be something we really need to play. And I'm going to dispose of an egg to draw a second card. Oh, we got a teal power. Blue wing teal. Reset the bird feeder. Then for each seed in the bird feeder, draw 1 card. You may tuck any or all of them behind this bird. Okay, so we only have 3 turns in round 3. So I would activate this one twice. And this one, I'm just not sure if I'll have the food for it. Not 100% sure on this one. You know what? We may just play them and hope that they get activated a couple times. I think I'm still okay with that. It's not like we can draw more cards anyway. We're kind of at the mercy of this depleted wetlands. All right. Round 3. Oh, I didn't get this boat-tailed grackle in time. But they get to gain some food here, which means they gain a horde token. And we activate pink powers. And we don't have any in play yet. I think I'm going to play this boat-tailed grackle, y'all. Let's see. I think we're going to go ahead and play this grackle in the wetlands, actually, because I think towards the end of the game, I'm going to be spamming some eggs. It looks like this, again, is turning into more of a grassland engine game. So we have the 2 nectar. We have the 2 eggs. We'll play the boat-tailed grackle and hope that these pink powers get activated some more. All right. And here comes another. Hey, check it out. Another pink power. We take those. They gain a seed, which means a horde token, and activating pinks. When another player caches, cash 1. Oh, man. I didn't read the pink power in detail. It says cash 1 from your supply on this bird. So I didn't have any extra food to cache. Then gain 1 food from the bird feeder at the end of their turn. So we will still gain something from the pink power, which is nice. We'll take a nectar there. And let's see, 2 turns left in the game. What do we want to do? You know what? Maybe we'll just go with the blue-winged teal. I think I'm okay with that. Even though it's not a high pointer, I want to get it in at the end of the round. So we'll go nectar and maybe a rat. Nectar and a rat. You know, if I had draw power, it'd just be a different game. I'd be seeing a lot more cards. So maybe this blue-winged teal will let me see some more cards. And we draw. It has a worm in the food cost. So the Acadian Flycatcher, I believe that's 3 in a row for this guy. Looking good there. Second to last turn in round 3. All right, they're going to pull a 5, 6, or 7 point bird. They're going to take the 5-point gannet because they keep the lowest. They're also going to add an action cube. And yeah, 5-point play for there. For the Automa, excuse me. And last turn of the round, play the blue-winged teal. Get to do some round end powers. And get some nectar down in the wetlands. So that was at least a 5-point play. And Automa says remove after round 2. And round 3, another action cube on the brown powers. And they get to choose a 6-point bird. Yikes. Major Mitchell's Cockatoo. So, scoring a hefty amount of points. That is the end of the round. Time for the blue-winged teal. Reset the bird feeder, and I need some seeds. Okay? All right, so we got 1 seed. That lets me... Oh, wait. I don't take it out of the bird feeder. I get to draw a card, and I can tuck it if I want to. Okay, we got a Virginia Rail. I thought that was going to be a bonus card for a second, but it says, when played, discard any number of cards from your hand, then draw that many additional. Huh. And then draw 1 additional, excuse me. I was looking at the camera. Oh, I don't get to play that. So, I'm not sure this Virginia Rail is the move here, people. I don't have any extra cards to do that stuff, so I think we're just going to tuck this one under the blue teal, the blue wing teal. Okay, and it's round 4 time. I'm going to let the Automa go first. If you've watched thus far, please like and subscribe to the video. Thank you guys in advance. All right, so he's going to pull a 4-pointer from the top of the deck and reset the tray. Hoping no 5, 6, or 7-point birds are showing up. Oh, and I always forget this. The Automa starts round 4 is berries and seeds in the food cost. He starts out with 6 action cubes. Golly. So 1, 2, 3, an action cube with that card draw. So now he's just at 5. We have only 2 birds with a seed. Interesting. All right, we don't have any birds in hand. I think it might be worth drawing some cards here. Here we go. And we're at a little bit of a disadvantage. I could reset the tray. I think in a normal game, I'd reset the tray and kind of gauge what I want, but we're just going to top deck here. All right, the American cliff swallow. Lay 1 egg on each bird in this bird's row and column. Interesting. I think this would have been better if I had it like right here. I don't think this is going to get played, but that is a super cool yellow power. Hey, we got a bonus card. Lesser Prairie Chicken. Draw 2 new bonus cards. Keep one and reveal the other. All players score the revealed bonus card at game end. And reveal the other. Wait, it says all players scored the revealed bonus card, so I think I get to keep one and score the other. So that is a super good pull. Way to go, Lesser Prairie Chicken. All right, and Automa, man, they're scoring another action cube and a card from the top of the deck. That's 4 points. Reset the tray again. Zebrafinch, Sulfur-Crested Cockatoo, and the Killdeer. Whoops. This game, the Automa, I don't feel like has as many eggs as the last game. I could be wrong. Okay, team. The Lesser Prairie Chicken also qualifies for Prairie Manager, and it's a ground nest. Did we just clutch up or what? All right, so we are going to gain some food, a nectar, and what else do we need? I guess we'll take a worm. That's fine. Like so. And Acadian Flycatcher. Can we go? I think this is like 4 or 5 times in a row. It has a worm in the food cost. So that's another worm. And a cache. A lot more caching powers here. I like it. And Automa. Only 3 turns left in the game, people. All right, so they're going to take the fish out of the bird feeder. Get a horde token. Activating pink powers. I get to do some caching. So let's go ahead and cache here. And gain 1 from the bird feeder at the end of their turn. So we'll take a nectar. The boat-tailed grackle. We got a little activation there. Come on, team. All right, brown thrasher. What are we gonna do here? I think we're going to discard the Zebrafinch, and if a player has a seed in their personal supply, tuck a card from the deck. I think with the Automa, you assume that they have something in their personal supply. Not 100% sure, but I think that's the ruling on that. So we will tuck Behind the deck, thank you, Brown Thrasher. I'm noticing with the Brown Thrasher, you at least get to do something. Super cool bird. I'm excited to see what people figure out with that one. And, oh wow, now there's a Raven and a Killdeer. Where did my action cube go? Okay. Okay, I went out of order. I got hooked on the boat-tailed grackle, and then I just went to the Brown Thrasher. I'm sorry. Apologies. Let's, okay, a slight rewind there. We're going to lay the 3 eggs. I got ahead of myself, and we'll go, wait. Let's do here and here and here. And then let's pretend we did our Brown Thrasher in the correct order. We just discarded that Zebra Finch and we got to tuck a card. Now we go to the Cactus Wren. I'm going to discard the American Cliff Swallow. And since it has a star nest, I'm gonna get to lay 2 eggs on whatever nest type I want, pretty much. So that's nice. Let's go right here. And time for the Western Screech Owl. Okay, we got a rat and a worm, so that's 2 caches. All right. Since we went out of order, we could have played this guy first. And you know what? I think I will discard a worm because I want to max out my turns and lay 4 eggs instead of 3. Apologies, team. We knew there would be mess-ups. All right. Here we go, round 4. 3 eggs for the Automa. 1, 2, 3, and an action cube. Perfectly legal. Now we're going to play a bird. Let's play the Lesser Prairie Chicken. What do you say? Here we go. And let's see, I'm gonna take the 2 eggs off here. Draw 2 new bonus cards, keep 1, and reveal the other. Okay. Wetland Population Monitor is a no-go for us. And Winter Feeder, food remaining in your supply at the end of the game. Man, both of these are very weak. I guess we'll take the Winter Feeder just in case I get some extra food. Okay, so the Lesser Prairie Chicken was a little bit underwhelming. However, it had the ground nest and it had the Prairie Manager, so we still scored some bonus points off of it. All right, last turn for the Automa, and they are going to grab a 6-point bird, Sulfur Crested Cockatoo, and we are going to activate our pink powers. So we're gonna cash, and let's go ahead and gain a seed. This boat-tailed grackle could come in clutch if I would have played it a lot earlier, but we didn't draw it, okay? Last turn of the game, we're going to lay some more eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Brown Thrasher. Oh, you know what? The Brown Thrasher is going to copy. We can't copy the Blue Rock Thrush. We don't want to lose points for the Killdeer. But we can discard an egg for 2 food. Right? And then that would let me actually score 4 points with Winter Feeder. Who knew? So Brown Thrasher coming in super clutch with the Chihuahuan Raven. Did we discard an egg? Can't remember. I'm going to say I didn't. And the Cactus Wren, we don't have any cards in my hand. And the Western Screech Owl, we only have 3 dice. And we cash a rat. We take those, team. Wow. That's the end of the round. But we have Blue-Winged Teal. Remember, I need some seeds. I got 1 seed. We will draw a card. Let's draw it. The black and white warbler. It's the end of the game, so we're just not going to be able to play this. I will use this as a tuck. And let's see. The Automa has 7 action cubes on this, and I've got 1, 2, 3. So we are going to lose that end of round goal as well. Now time for my favorite part. Let's do the scoring. I'll fix this nectar here as well. Okay, guys, so the final scores, it looks like we had 32 points. The Automa had, 57 points? Just crushed me on bird points. We had 14 points from some bonus cards. Actually, I thought that was pretty good considering the ones we had. End of round goals, 12 to 15. Eggs, 10 to 13. Automa had more eggs than I thought. Food on cards, we had 14 caches, not bad. Tucked cards at 4. They won the Nectar Battle 9 to 12. Team, before you go away, I totally forgot about my yellow end game end power. Activate each when activated brown. Predator power for each that succeeds. Also cash 1 from the supply on this bird. What? So, we only have 1 predator power. I was putting this game up, but we have the Western Screech Owl. Guys, the score was 95-97. If this Screech Owl caches a worm and a rat, and if it caches a worm and a rat, then I cash 1 also on the yellow-billed magpie, I could win by 1 point. Who's with me, people? Who's with me? The yellow powers weren't on here. I totally forgot. So in suspense, come on. Come on. I need a worm and a rat. Worm and a rat for a win. Oh! It's knocked. It's knocked, people. It's knocked. Here we go. Okay. So we got a worm cache, and then that means I get a yellow-billed magpie cache, and that means the score is not 95-97. We actually tied 97-97. And what happens in the case of a tie is food. And we had food from the winter feeder. Who knew the winter feeder could save the game and we win? Versus the eagle difficulty with a lackluster board. Let's go, team!